barrels, like 55-gallon barrels, cut them in half and make them into grills.
Oh, cool. That breachway is so nice too over there.
Yeah. East Beach side is nicer because no one can get to it.
Yeah.
It's a 3-mile walk or you have to have a truck.
Oh, we have.
I almost got my wife's car.
Just for head nod, right?
When the kids were really young.
Really? See, I think we drove on it and got stuck once, but I was really young and I don't really remember. I would have to ask my mom to tell me the story, but...
It was my wife's SUV. The kids were really young and it was like winter time and we're way out on the beach. I was like, oh, we're fucked.
Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check.
Are we 6?
Mic check.
Oh, hi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, 6. Want me to hold it there while you dive in?
No, I'm in. Thank you.
Triple box. That's daring.
Triple. Is this the top of the show? My brain cannot memorize things when I'm cold. This is... I guess I could put my gloves on and not have to worry about how warm the mic is.
This is the mark right here, so is that good?
Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
First at 11, surging COVID cases right now are impacting schools across the state. Thank you for joining us. I'm Patricia Del Rio. Tonight, the state's COVID numbers remain high. The positivity rate is now at more than 21%. Since Thursday, there have been 23,000 new cases. The uptake in cases after the holiday break is part of the reason why many schools canceled classes today. In fact, in the last 2 hours, more schools have canceled classes for tomorrow. You can find more closing information on our website or on the Channel 3 app. And we do have team coverage tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Aaron Edwards is following the staffing shortage that is facing bus drivers. But first, Christian Colon is live in Ansonia, where classes have been canceled for the rest of the week. Christian, and possibly even longer than that.
Yeah, that's right. The mayor tells me that classes are canceled until Monday, but that could be extended depending on staffing issues. And one of the biggest reasons they say is because of staffing. About 25% of staff called out because of COVID-19. Students didn't show up to class today, and bus drivers are also calling out. The holiday break just got longer for Ansonia students.
I feel it's better if we see this is safe for the children, for the students, for the teachers, for the staff. It will be good. I hope so.
Fatima and Ashardi is glad her 3 grandkids will be safe at home, but was disappointed to learn there's no remote learning. Lauren Sibron felt the same way.
It's a frustrating thing for me as a parent because now what my kids are supposed to do, they're going to be home, they're not going to be learning nothing, no schoolwork is going to be done, everything is just going to be all backed up for all the students.
The district made the call after 25% of staff was out because of COVID. About 50% of the students didn't show up, and the buses lacked drivers.
They were down 70 drivers, so I So I thought it'd be good that if we would cancel school the rest of this week, possibly another week, until we could get through this strain that we're going through right now.
The Commissioner of Education reminded superintendents of the law prohibiting district-wide remote learning through this letter on New Year's Eve. The law says remote learning should only be an option in certain situations, like when students are infected and other rare individual cases. The last option if the governor declares an emergency.
The governor hasn't issued that we could go remote. And by doing that, when the governor says, yeah, we'll go remotely, we'll get credit for them days.
The Board of Education Union Coalition, which represents over 60,000 school employees, also spoke out tonight about how unprepared schools were today. For them, being in person is the way to go, but masks, testing, and staff shortages need to be addressed.
I saw a 20% absenteeism rate in the classrooms that I worked in today. And I think our staffing across the state, we saw fluctuations even greater than that.
The mayor also tells me that decision to go back will depend on those staffing issues, and because there's no remote learning, well, that means students will have to make up those days at the end of the year. As of today, the end of the school year will be June 10th. As for the union, they are hoping the state steps up. In Ansonia, Christian Colon, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Christian, thank you for that. And our team coverage continues. Ansonia is not the only town dealing with a bus driver shortage. The problem is plaguing many districts across the state, forcing schools to close or to have to change bus routes at the last minute. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Aaron Edwards has the latest. And what can families expect, Aaron?
Well, Patricia, Torrington and Stonington public schools will both be closed tomorrow, and several other districts across the state could expect their bus routes to change.
It wasn't easy today for anyone.
A number of bus drivers across the state out sick today, and tomorrow districts are expecting much of the same. Torrington schools will be closed tomorrow, along with Stonington public schools. Stratford and Enfield were both closed today, but both plan to open back up tomorrow.
Each day is going to throw a new challenge at us.
Bus companies tell us just one call out can have a major impact.
This shortage has hit us all in different districts. So you have some where maybe you're not suffering a lot of people being out, and some locations where there could be 25 to 40% of the driving group that's out. And so, each day that's going to change a little bit.
Chief Operating Officer with M&J Bus, John Hipsher, tells us right now a lot of drivers are waiting on test results. But he says companies are working to have a bus route plan the day before school.
We're already presently right now working on how we're going to put things for tomorrow morning together at this time, and crossing our fingers that we aren't going to have any surprise call outs in the morning, but I'm sure we're all going to have that.
Districts acknowledge routes will be changing and are asking parents for patience. Enfield superintendent writing to parents, quote, "We are operating day to day and circumstances change overnight or early in the morning. We ask parents please be aware that buses may be behind their normal schedule."
We are looking at further consolidations that you can make on some routes, or piggybacking one route on top of another. Anything that we can do to continue to safely get these kids to school and get them home in the afternoon.
Superintendents are notifying families to the degree that they can that, bus routes are going to be late. They don't have enough bus drivers. If possible, drive your children to school if you can possibly do that.
For the latest information on school cancellations, you could head to our Channel 3 News app. Reporting live in Middletown, Aaron Edwards, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.